Hello and welcome to the final round of F1 2018, the final round of this league on this game, and the final round of Tier 1. We are here in Brazil. Milo, you think it's so good to ready up now?
Yep, should all be fine, everyone's in.
Alrighty, make sure you send updates. Anyways,
Yep.
final race of F1 2018, there's a lot. Welcome to you, Milo. Holy cow, wow. Final race of this game for a lot of people, and final race in general for this league on F1 2018.
It's come around quite quickly, to be honest. It only feels like a few weeks ago where I commentated my first race at USA. So yeah, it's actually quite refreshing to be at the end of this game because F1 2020 is just next week. We've got a long and busy off-season coming in terms of planning, etc. But yeah, I'm excited. It's been a good day.
It has. I want to talk about real life F1 quickly. We'll talk about this more in the podcast, but Max had a decent start, and obviously we know what happened with the race, but we'll just recap this a little bit slower. Max with a great start, but then had an issue. I don't exactly remember what the issue was, but he clicked something on his steering wheel, and of course it didn't work out for him, and had to retire the car.
Yeah, it was some sort of electronics problem instead of the actual Honda engine. So, yeah, I'm not sure what happened with Alex as well.
Yeah, that's the first retirement for Max with that type of issue.
Mm.
Which is weird, but you know, with ever since Honda kind of came on, that's the first time they've done that. But well, what should we talk about next? K-Mag and Haas losing their brakes as well. Not really much else to it, right? I mean, that's what caused the safety car. The race wasn't as boring at that point. It got better. So, how did you describe that part?
Sorry, I've just heard F1 drivers say it was wet, but I doubt that highly because I put it on clear, and if I didn't, I'm really stupid. But sorry. Yeah, Haas, surprising. You know, they tend to go well around Austria on one lap pace. Grosjean started 15th and made a couple of mistakes, which was unfortunate because he wanted to bounce back this season, and he's not done it in the best of ways. No, it's just actually really nice to talk about real F1 again, because we have dearly missed it. And we're dearly going to miss the memories of the ARL Season 2 as well.
Yeah, that is true. And we've, if you think about it, you know, with F1, there's been a lot that's really going on with the season and just in general of ARL, and then the real life F1 now that's gone on as well, which is crazy to think of what's going on in general and how it's really gone with this pandemic and how this is all happened. I mean, surely got to think about it first. Now, penalties to be served. AMS taxes a quality ban, but he's going out to retire in a safe place, hopefully, which we've talked about already. He needs to retire in a safe location, and make sure he is disqualified. So,
yeah, another thing as well, Mr. Boca is waiting for tax to disqualify himself because he wants to start the back as well, which is interesting because I heard earlier this week that he was gonna try a genuine race on no line, but he's gonna push himself yet again. The champion will be disqualifying himself shortly.
So you see AMS tax pulling off right there, but talk about real life just again a moment. Oh, no F1 spoilers. Some people haven't seen it. Okay, well, we'll just say, I'll just say this. Besides that, chaotic race. It's one you want to rewatch. We'll just say that for now, because I know Hissy, you said you didn't see it yet, so fair enough. Regardless, AMS tax now serves that quality ban, but tier 3, tier 2. Let's talk about that quickly. And ABS Star goes for a spin and goes out of the session.
Oh, bad start from Mercedes.
He still has that 5-second penalty to serve as well this weekend. So does Atlantis for the stuff that happened last week as well. So, a lot has really gone on then. Anyways, let's speak about Tier 3 first. Tier 3, Luke B took his first win. Mercedes driver taking their first win at the end of the season, last race of the season. Kind of similar to how Silent did last season in that Mercedes as well. So you got to kind of think about, okay, this is the way it goes, you know. Some Mercedes drivers took their wins, took their first wins in the final race of the season. And that's the way it's gone for Silent and Luke B. They took their first win. Regardless, Luke B, winner, and Davis had that DRS stuck open, and as well as Six Starburst taking his first points in Tier 3.
Yeah, I watched that race, and nice to see Luke B learning from his brother. I know they've been doing some practice together, and you know they're passionate for this league, and they've both enjoyed some success throughout the course of this season. So congratulations to those two on their achievements. And yeah, a lot of spins came on that inside curb at turn 5, if I remember correctly.
That is true.
So we'll have to watch out for that today. It wasn't as bad in Tier 2. There was still a few mistakes. That left-hand side wall, before you go onto the Albon corner, I'll just say that. Because that's still relevant. It's crazy.
And it's still relevant today, even because of the race. But regardless, I gotta say for sure, you know, Tier 2 now. Tier 3, Luke B took the win. Podium was down to Lucas, who ended up being the rookie of the season. But it's so shocking that he had not taken a single win. I'm still shocked that that happened. I don't get how that was. I don't understand. How did he not take a single win when he was clearly finishing second 4 times? Probably the best driver who's yet to win a race yet. 3rd tier. What do you think?
Well, sorry. Yeah, it's as a Williams driver, Dada Lucas, and his second place it's been a bit like me. I got second place. It's get frustrating because again, I'll refer to real life and I'll go back to 2018, where Bottas didn't take a single win in that season.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was unlucky at times. Very unlucky, but he was patient, and they came back to him in 2019 and was establishing himself as a bit more of a championship contender. So if he does stick around for next season, which I don't know to be honest at this point, we'll definitely see him back stronger with a new game. It'll be great to see that.
It should be interesting. Tier 2 though, again, just want to speak about that quickly. A championship decider that I think we'll never forget. That ended up being 5 points of a difference between Kagoda and Pluto. I've yet to do the points, by the way. I was gonna do it during the race, but then I was like, no, this race is too good in Austria, so I kind of had to stop from that. But regardless, Kagoda, Pluto, McLaren, Mercedes, for the championship, and there was a lot that went on, and I mean a lot. First off, let's speak about the first lap. Boss plays into one of the other drivers, later DNF'd. Also as well, gotta speak about why is Boker last not taxed? That's a good question. I don't know. The game, the way I thought it always was supposed to be is the first person who gets disqualified goes far last, but Boker has gone far last. And Boker didn't disqualify himself first, but at least they both, you know, did what they should. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, that's hopefully something fixed up for 2020. But I was gonna say back to Tier 2 quickly. It was quite an interesting race, and Asian and Pluto at the start, they made contact. Pluto ended up getting a 3-second penalty, and obviously that changed the championship as well. Not only that, you had that change the championship as well. The safety car that happened late race. Well, I'll kind of speak about that one.
It was a bit of a boring race from my perspective. I just wasn't that consistent. So when the safety car came out, it was like, oh wow, championship question mark in my head. But yeah, it was an exciting final few laps and very controversial. Of all the people that could have collided under the safety car, it was Pluto and Kagoda. which in the party, me and Harrison, GSR Hamilton, I should say at the time, were just like, wow, that changes everything. Your line, should I say, for when we get the Tier 1 late race safety cars. So yeah, 10 finishes, still a fairly decent race at Brazil, as we do usually get, and I hope Tier 1 follows in a similar way. Oh, backing up at the final corner.
I was going to say as well, it's pretty interesting because that championship battle changes a lot of things. That was the lowest attendance this season because there were no reserves. There was no one reserving at all for the reason there was because of, you know, the championship being on the line so much. We know what happened last season, Polo and DW. Polo kind of ruined DW's chance at a championship in a way, and we didn't really want to repeat that, at least with reserves. Because we know the way the stuff with the reserves has kind of gone. So that's why there was no reserves racing. That's why there were 16 people, 16 in the race, and for life was behind him, and Polo got third as well.
That's incredibly close. About 400ths between the top three, and I should say that's quite a surprising top three. No offense to anyone there, but GSR Axe very decent lap, because it's quickly beaten by a 10th.
We also had as well the tier 2 pull time faster than any pull time at this track, 107.9. Yeah, so ended up with the championship. The podium ended up being ARL Tripod, who was spun by Patria. ARL Tripod took his first win doing a spin and win, which is crazy enough to say, but he done a spin and win, won the race. Beanick took a podium, somehow having no penalties, and as well as Matty Mumu, after a post-race penalty from Pluto, goes to the podium for his first, and as well as Kagoda down in 9th.
Yeah, I had a good battle with Matty at the start of the race. He was very difficult to get past with the DRS trains, and he made that alternate strategy work, and even with the safety car as well, he was right back in contention. So fair play to Matty, fair play to Pluto, who pipped us to P2 in the Constructors' Championship. And I enjoyed our battle for sure. Kagoda 9th though, that doesn't reflect his pace. He's back here today. I'm pretty sure he's on a different setup, Kagoda. So
Yeah,
not quite in the comfort zone.
Yeah,
so it'll be a good test for him.
It should. It very well should. Should be very interesting what we're able to see in this race with 6 minutes left in the session for the final qualifying session of the season in ARL Tier 1 and the final session of F1 2019. Just want to note a few things here in this race. ABS Charge retiring 5 seconds this week. Something that happened last week, AMS Texas, a quali ban Boker starting at the back. John is racing on pad for the first time in 2 years in a league race. So obviously you can tell he's struggling right now. You have behind that RSF1 Uzumaki making his first ever start in a while in league racing after obviously he had his pad he races on that was broke a while ago. He races on that for the first time in a while, comes back making his first start here today. Kagoda back in Tier 1 as well. You also have F1 Fan for Life making his first start as well.
Yeah, I haven't really seen much of F1 Fan for life. His pace, I don't know. So I'm hoping to be surprised by him today, and hopefully show us what he's capable of. But in regards to John as well, he's sitting on 92 points. With the pace he's currently showing in qualifying on pad, I don't think he'll be able to overturn that 3-point deficit to Sam and that 1-point deficit to Rizal, who are looking a little bit quicker. Sam, though, down in 16th, so that might not be true for the race. We'll see. Jack not racing, so he's safe behind from him. F1 driver, provisional pole. So John just needs to try and remain as consistent as possible. He could go for a slow and steady wins the race. Probably not win, though, but hopefully climb up the order. Yeah, that's the only driver he's under threat of if F1 driver does win today.
Yeah, so there's still that battle for third in the Constructors' Championship, which is crazy enough because you have Ferrari, Toro Rosso, Alfa Romeo, Racing Point, Red Bull, all within a 32-point cushion of each other. They're all able to take third in the championship.
They are, and this is a battle we spoke about last week, and well, the results were quite mixed from the start of the race. Things just seemed to flow against certain teams, but obviously we got mathematically 5 teams in that battle. Ferrari leading, Toro Rosso in 4th, I should say, for the case of the championship battle. Alfa Romeo and then Racing Point, Red Bull.
Jack,
Realistically, out of those, yeah, again, and Ricochet as well, going for another front row start. He's really improved his qualifying pace.
Yeah,
so
sure, you can't deny that.
That's
no
good for Ferrari. That is good for Ferrari.
Yeah, I was gonna mention LDRL Rizone set like a 107.5 it was or something like that. I want to watch out for where he's gonna go. It was crazy. Yeah, Kagoda to go 6th. Behind that, Rizone's actually pitted. He was 2 tenths up and validated. Wow, this is an extended qualifying session, so obviously you'll be able to see a lot. I actually, I was gonna say, responding to Crumpy Tripod's message, why John is on the pad is because he is not home right now. He's out of town, so of course that doesn't help much. Oh, man, it's reversing dangerously. I just saw that right there.
I mean, it's a rule. You should never ever be reversing on a racetrack, and
Almost got on the side of Uzumaki.
he's so lucky he hasn't been disqualified there. The FIA would probably even disqualify him from the race.
Yeah.
If something like that happened.
That's true. I actually want to apologize quickly because over the weekend, my mic's been having these problems, of course, where every time I talk, it seems like I'm blowing it. I don't. My mic's like 200 feet away from me, it seems like, for right now. But it's just, on stream, it don't seem like that. So obviously when I talk, it has a little air it blows in. So I don't know why that is. I definitely want to fix that for next season. Hopefully that is fixed for next season. So you don't hear just, you know, the me talking and then the regular blowing or the regular breathing like this. You know what I mean? So you don't want to hear that anymore. So I'm sure people don't want to hear that. Interesting qualifying session so far. You got some unknown guys who could really upset a lot of things in the race. 20 drivers in this final race. We had 16, the least amount for a single race yesterday, really, in ARL. That was 16 yesterday, 16 drivers, which in fact is the lowest attendance this season, which I said already. But that's the lowest attendance since I want to say since Tier 2 mid-season last season. This Tier 1's never had lower than 17, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, obviously yesterday's attendance, it was obviously for a reason, and overall, the attendance this season has been great. There's a lot of reserves that always want to have an opportunity and try and push for a full-time seat. It reminds me of a kind of proper academy system, but it works, and we get good attendance and usually better races as a result.
Apologize, I was just fixing something with my mic, but regardless, there's a Racing Point coming to the line. That's RSF1 Uzumaki, who's going to improve to 13th. Not a bad place for him, returning to his first league race. But here comes the end of qualifying. Kagoda in 6th, by the way. Glad Dominant's going to mention that because that's his best result, or best starting spot in Tier 1. Jab starting a
The
lap
moment he
behind
moves
that,
to a new
there's
setup.
Yeah. Could have done that yesterday. Got a few people coming to the line. There's a Racing Point of GSR Axe who's on an outlap. Completing that outlap, there's the Haas of Such J25. Behind that, the Toro Rosso of Atlantis, or no, the Toro Rosso of Rizone, and then the Ferrari of Ricochet, that is. Checkered flag's about to be complete. It's complete on our side, but not fully complete just yet. You have coming to the line. Rapalucas goes up to 4th. Polo God 6th for him. Behind that, there's a Ferrari. That's Sam Steed. Gonna go a bit faster, I think, or actually start his lap, one of the two. The Alfa Romeo behind, that was F1 driver, I believe, starting his lap as well. There's the Renault of JC Graham. DNF'd the last 3 races. Can he get a good starting spot to avoid that trouble? He is not gonna go faster at all. Interesting qualifying session to end this is the way it is. Renault and Williams still got constructors battle. There you go. 33. Yeah, there's their toe. Coming to the line for Atlantis. Oh. How much better does he go? He goes up to 12. Wow. Resonate Lord 14. Where does the racing point of Axe? Yeah, there you go. At 10th up. Axe completes the checker flag. Rizone. Where does he go? He's going to go to the top.
Oh.
107.9. Jeff Williams MSU still on a front row start for him. Sam C completing the checker flag this time as well. Polo God invalidated. Rapalucas coming to the line. It's 5th. F1 driver at 10th up as well. Can he steal the front row starting spot for his Alfa Romeo? He goes 2nd.
Oh, front row.
Steals it over Jeb Williams MSU, and Rizone is on pole for the final race of the season. Final qualifying session of the season. And Kagoda 9th, Graham 10th. Some good runs for some people. A different order than we're used to seeing. Jeb Williams MSU 3rd as well. Impressive stuff from him. Sign that qualifying session pole time is. It's Rizone on top, F1 driver, Jab in the top 3. That's the highest he's qualified. Ricochet 4th, Rapalucas 5th, F1 fan for life as well. Down in 6th, Polo God, Axe, Kagoda, Graham round out the top 10. But some names outside the top 10 that we're maybe used to seeing in qualifying or we're not used to seeing, and they usually do better in the race. You have Atlantis, Sam Steed, John, AMS Tax, and Mr. Boker, who starts down in 20th as well.
Mr. Boker obviously being a deliberate starting last place, but he did really well at USA last week. He was right in the lead pack in the first few laps, so he can just do the same thing. Brazil is actually quite a lot harder to make moves, especially in Sector 2, whereas Cota's actually quite wide, consistently wide throughout the track, so it's going to be difficult for him, but there's a Constructors' Championship on the line.
Yeah, I mean, 33 points between those teams. Williams behind, Renault ahead. So Renault is the one not really having much to lose because Boker gonna go from 20th to wherever. It don't matter. He's gonna have to find a way to win this race. If Boker wants to win from the lowest starting grid spot anyone would win from. 18th is the lowest. Your teammate in Tier 2, GSR Hamilton, did that. So, yeah. Pretty interesting. Anyways, we're about to start the race pretty soon here. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second now. The final time on F1 2019 for most of these drivers, and it's the final time in ARL on F1 2019. A great game this was. I mean, it wasn't always the best of games, I'd say, with connection and everything like that. We could call it dog crap or whatever sometimes, but this game has seriously got some memories for a lot of people.
Yeah, I'll always remember this game for bringing me into the league racing community and, you know, making new friends, commentary, racing, just the entire experience. It will forever hold that memory for me, and I'm excited for what's to come though.
I am too, because F1 2020 looks so much better than this game, and we can just say League Racing could be easily better. I want to go over 2 favorites quickly. Rizone on the pole. He won the pole in LDRL, but lagged out in the race. Hopefully that does not happen today. ABS driver in Atlantis at the far back of the pack. They need to catch up to the pack. They can't be sitting that far back, but
Someone spun.
That was a racing point. Rizone, though, on pole, he lagged out in LDRL. He's got to not repeat that as well. I want to go with, as well, Kagoda down in 9th. Champion in Tier 2. Look for him because he had a good race in Tier 2. So just be watching him because he could possibly a lot better than he did in Tier 2, especially with the new setup. Milo, who's your 2 favorites?
I'm gonna be quick with this. I'm gonna go for Rappalucas, last season's champion. Yeah, he hasn't even been that bad in terms of relative to Mr. Boca. So if he can just have a good finale, I'm sure he'll be confident going into next season that he can really take the challenge every race to him. And then as well, oh, this is tough. I'm gonna go outside the box here a little bit with Sam Steed. He's usually better in races. Gets unlucky in some leagues, but in ARL he just clicks and gets the job done. I'm
That's so true.
rooting for him to get his first podium, of course.
He could possibly do that. We saw a driver get their first podium in F1 today. Can it happen today? The final time on F1 2019. We're about to get underway for the 5 red lights. We're away for the final time in F1 2019. Rizone gets off the grid pretty well. F1 driver, side by side with Jab. For second place this is. Getting off the grid into turn 1, into turn 2. Now heading to turn 3.
Oh.
John's lagged out.
Oh, Kagoda's around.
McLaren.
And a racing point for Mercedes as well.
BSC, and around goes Uzumaki through turn 3 as well.
Mr. Boke has damage.
He does. And there goes Typhoon as well in the first lap again. Axe down the order. And Typhoon pulling out in front of Uzumaki very dangerously. But John, who is disconnected from the session, who you might have to re-invite, is down in 20th place. And might have the timing glitch once that gets to him. Axe down the order as well. Mr. Boker, you said, has damage. So Kagoda was the one who got spun in that McLaren and caused part of that. So that was kind of the reason for that whole situation. Well, about to complete lap 1, VSC came out from that incident. ABS Shard gets passed by Kagoda into the final turn, that is. So let's see the, didn't mean to do that. Rizone taking the fastest lap in the first lap, leading the first lap, but position changes. AMS Tax up 8 places. Sam Seed, Resonate Lord, Mr. Boker, ABS Drive, just some of the names pitting already in this race. John has joined back already. But out of the guys who have gained positions, Polo got up a position, Graham up 2, F1 Fan for Life down 1, Atlantis up 3, Tax up 8, Uzumaki and Typhoon up 2.
Five drivers in the pits at the end of lap 1 then. So that collision was a little bit bigger than I thought. It all happened at turn 2, which obviously famously Ocon wiped out Max from the lead when unlapping himself. And yesterday as well, Pluto and Asian on lap 1 causing a chain reaction of cars. So I think that a similar thing has happened again.
Yeah, who knows what caused that, but I saw him sideways just right before turn 2, so that's a big question of what could have happened. But the top 3 right now is Rizone leading, F1 driver second, Jabuli MSU, highest up he's ever been so far this season. He's doing really well off the start. Behind him is Ricochet, behind that is Rappalucas, and then you have F1 Fan for Life down in 7th, making his first start. Rizone as well, taking that fastest lap, but such J25 tried to look down the inside of Atlantis, who's actually running in the points for the first time in about 3 races.
Yeah, good start for him. He's came out with a little bit of a different attitude lately. He's just losing motivation. He's not really much of an F1 fan himself, but to see him in the points, hopefully he can just stick with the train in front of him, and that will guide him to something good.
Mr. Boker got past Sam Steed already, but with Rappalucas being 5th, that's not enough because both cars of the Williams need to finish in the points. Well, need to finish very good in the points, not just in the points, because of the Constructors' Championship, the 33-point difference. 27 points for that win with Williams scores that, and Renault gets nothing. That's not enough. That's only 5 points, 5-6 points of a difference, really, of at the end of things. Mr. Boker and Resonate Lord was trying there for position. F1 driver actually takes the fastest lap for him. Down in 2nd place.
Graham.
Looking down the inside, he couldn't do much. Right there. Javelima's is actually falling on a DRS according to, not according to, toward F1 driver. And he's about to lose the position to Ricochet if he don't get a move on here, because he's going to need to be able to go faster, if that makes sense. He needs to get back within the DRS if he wants to not get challenged from Ricochet, who's behind him. Resonate Lord and Mr. Boker were going side by side. Resonate Lord had to back out of that one. Mr. Boker back up to 15th after the damage on lap 1.
Here comes Sam now as well. And down the inside.
Down the inside,
move.
there you go. An F1 driver is actually falling out of DRS of her zone as well. He's got back in it right now, but that's not enough for the detection point, I don't think. He does actually have DRS. Changing my mind about that one. And Ricochet on Jab can't make a move right there into turn 1. He's not close enough to do so. And Polo got falling out of DRS as well on Rapaluca, so he's going to be challenged for F1 Fan for Life. And Sushie 25 gets via Landis for a position. That's for 9th. Here comes Ricochet, though, for P3. They're going to go wheel to wheel into the corner, into turn 4. Ricochet gets ahead. Jab switching back. Off of the corner, it's Ricochet ahead. Landis by Sushie as well. Rapalucas is close that gap to Jab as well. Rapalucas might want a podium in this final race of the season. Well, actually, everyone's final race of the season in general, I should say, not just his. Well, it's mainly most people's final race of the game, so let me just clarify that. Most people's it is, because F1 2020 comes out on Tuesday, and I'm sure a lot of us can't wait for that one.
I just get excited thinking about it. New game, new cars, new handling. It's great.
It is.
Oh, there's a
It
yellow
is
flag.
That's F1 Fan for Life? No, it's not. That's actually someone else. I'm not too sure who that is. Not too sure who that is.
I don't know. It might have been John. He's been lapped by 14th place. He looked a little bit slower on the straight, so might have been John.
I have no clue what that crackling noise you're talking about is. I think it's my mic again. I need to fix that before F1 2020. And really great season just in general, because the mic quality in here is not too good. It just makes a crackling noise, and it's very annoying. I've watched it back, and I'm like, I can't watch it back.
Ironic the moment when I get a new mic, you start to get issues.
Yeah. It was fine throughout the last few weeks with it. It wouldn't have that crackling noise, but now, for whatever reason, it just has that crackling noise whenever I speak. I don't know why that is.
GSRX. This is not a place you want to go side by side. Oh, they touched, unsurprisingly.
Oh, there they go!
Both of them around.
At turn 6, that is. Oh. Atlantis is getting passed by Sushie. They could not go side by side at turn 2. Oh, Sushie gets ahead. Four-car train for P2 as well. F1 driver Ricochet, Jab, Rapalucas in that mix of things. So the top 14 are the only drivers yet to pit in this race. Everyone's still left in this race. It's a good thing. We want to see no DNFs in this final race of the F1 2019, which would be cool to see. It's France, first ever race in this league. I think there was, I want to say, only 2, 3, 4 DNFs. And the least amount of DNFs we had was 1 back in France. This season until 1. We started out the season with 1 DNF. Without no. Yeah, Thomas Burr said, I hear Axe smacking the table from up here. Oh.
Oh, here comes Kagoda, Tier 2 champion. On a Tier 1 race winner.
Who won this race last season, which is Tax's last win. This is the last time Tax won a race. Nothing Tax can do about that. Can't recover. to get back by, but he clips the grass into turn 4, goes a bit wide. He's going to go off the racetrack, and he's definitely going to get caught by Uzumaki now, who's on the same tire as him on the mediums. I just want to mention Mr. Boker down in 15th place right now. Don't count him out in case a safety car or something happens, because Mr. Boker has not finished worse than 4th this season at all. That includes preseason as well. Not finished first. Not finished worse than 4th this season. That's the lowest he's finished.
Mental stat.
That was the same with Riles as well in his championship season. Riles finished 4th once in his championship season. Riles' season is something that I want to look back at a lot, because Riles' season, he got from being a tier 2 champion, finishing 4th or better every race, podium all but one race, and not even a single podium in the season at all in the tier 2 season. It's crazy how much his season to make that transition to say, hey, you're not on the podium. You're not, after being a champion, you're not on the podium. It must be really weird. It must be really upsetting for him, because, I mean, he would love to do good. Graham looks to Polo for position in P6, but ahead of that is Ricochet, and F1 driver. This is lap 9 out of 36 in this race. 2 seconds between the race lead between Rizone and F1 driver. ABS driver and Resident Lord into turn 1. They're side by side. Williams and Mercedes. They make a little bit of contact between the two. Down toward turn 4 now. Jarv going to go down the inside of Resident Lord for position. This is. Do not clip that turn 5 turn, but Paulo got pits already from that position. Isn't this the same time I want to say Pluto pitted earlier? The tier 2 race? I want to say it was. Paulo is going with the medium tires already.
I was going to say, like, lap 11. Lap 11 is probably optimal time you want to be making an undercut, because although tire degradation isn't that bad, mediums can go off a lot towards the end, and then they just get more and more worn. It's hard to keep a grip on them. Oh, Jarvis back down the inside. They're not done.
Definitely not done. They're going to turn 2 about almost side by side between them two. And off the corner, Jar's going to get to the rear gearbox of Resident Lord, and they're going to go side by side here into turn 4. Will this work out? There's a yellow flag. That's Typhoon around.
Oh, he spun it again. He's got no grip. Tires are done.
It's left possession. That's enrage. Make sure he gets invited back to retire the car. That's enrage. That would be a DNR. Ricochet just got by F1 driver as well, and they're side by side actually. Through turn 5 this is, and they're keeping it wheel to wheel, heading to turn 6. Ricochet's gonna go ahead, but they're still trying to fight it out. Ricochet's ahead, but back around the outside. F1 driver's really pushing it to go back down the inside. He really wanted to have a chance to make a move, and he goes back down the inside. He's gonna hit the back of him as well. They're side by side up the corner into sector 3. Again! They're side by side again. F1 driver gets ahead. Jab there to challenge, but Ricochet is gonna have the DRS now onto the front straightaway.
It's a 4-car DRS train. This could go absolutely anyone's way. Rapalucas towing as well. It's going to be 2 by 2. Down the inside goes Rapalucas.
They made it side by side there, unlike Asian and Pluto did yesterday. And because of that, they kept it clean. And now Rapalucas gets ahead of Jab. Jab, who was third not too long ago, has fell down to 5th. And side by side right there between F1 driver and Ricochet for P2. This is. As Atlantis does pit for the hards.
So did F1 fan for life. Hards? Interesting. That's the default strategy though, suggested by the game. It's perfectly possible to run soft mediums in a 50% race, but the game suggests hard, so those that probably aren't aware have just gone, yeah, hard. Why not?
That's why you need to check the strategy before every race. ABS driver Resident Lord is side by side again between the two. Into turn 1, Resident Lord gets ahead. ABS driver challenging as well. It's Resident Lord staying ahead actually. But to turn 3, it's still not done yet. The DRS is enabled for Jarv. He clips the grass, Resident Lord does. Pinching him. Contact. WMSU pits. They're side by side. Going through turn 5 still. A bit of contact. A bit more. So that's Jay as well. Graham as well. They all pit.
Down the inside goes
down the
John.
inside.
Oh.
Resident Lord lost the rear there. Into the turn at turn 7, that is. Well, they're going to pass Typhoon's car, which would be getting a DNR from this race because he left the session in rage. But now that Patriot entering in, he won't be able to join. So again, just having the same issue as yesterday. Patriot's going to have to leave again if Typhoon can join back to retire the car. Typhoon's going to have to join back, that's the problem. Resident Lord picks up a penalty as well. The leader, Razone, pits in this race. So does Ricochet, and so does Rapalucas.
F1 driver stayed out.
Pagoda pits as well. That's from 5th, that is. That's not net P5, but that's from 5th on the running order. Resident Lord and Jarv again for 16th place. This is Resident Lord hitting the back of him again. He's gonna hit the back of him another time as well. Fan for life in Session 25. The two Haas drivers going wheel to wheel into turn 4 this time. They're side by side. A bit of contact between the two Haas drivers, and sideways is F1 Fan for life. Milo, you're gonna need a message Patriot to leave because Typhoon can't even join back now.
Is he trying to join back?
He said to me, I told him to join back.
Yeah, I'll do that now.
And he said he can't. Why?
Yeah, it's because it'll be full.
Uzumaki lagging a little bit, and Jab trying to challenge on him as well. To the outside of him this time. Into turn 1. They're going wheel to wheel. And I think Uzumaki is going to stay ahead. And Uzumaki trying to protect again on him. Behind this is Rapalucas and Polo God. Jab's going to need to get by, but they're side by side again. A bit of contact. And Rapalucas, I think, just tried to pass, or did pass, off the track there. And Polo was trying to get through Uzumaki, but Uzumaki, you can see the internet is not so good for him as well. F1 driver pits from the race lead, that is. AMS Tactics stayed out already as well. Zone taking that fastest lap. Has Patriot left the session? I'm not too sure. There's yellow flags.
I don't know. Oh, yellows.
That is Resident Lord. Pagoda gets by Atlantis into turn 1. That's for position. And he's going to go through.
Oh, Ricochet! On the exit of the pit lane.
Ooh, caught. And Polo God, who's actually had to make another pit stop, might be changing for some front wing. He is actually changing some front wing there. And he is down in 15th now from that pit stop after changing front wing. But Kagoda, Atlantis, and Boker all for about to be a points position if they get to F1 Fan for Life, who's on the hard tires. This is really for a net P10 as well because of tax and money.
Oh, down the inside goes Mr. Boker on Atlantis. Remember, he's still making progress. He put on lap 1, now trying to look for a way past Atlantis, who gets a poor exit and around the outside, not quite. Oh, switchback.
Here comes Mr. Boker back at her on the outside. Atlantis clips the grass that time. They're side by side. Polo guy gets a penalty and a bit of contact between them there. Atlantis not giving any room to Mr. Boker and making it very hard for the Season 2 champion to get by.
Penalty for his own, Atlantis' teammate. Now Mr. Boker in the slipstream goes to the outside. It should be an easy pass. Atlantis really running low on ERS. I mean, fair play for trying to hold a battle. He's fully entitled to. It's
Jab
not been often
Lucas.
he's
a bit of
got
contact.
To do it. Oh!
Off the track goes Lucas. A bit of contact from Jab.
Just credit to Graham. He's net P6 for Renault.
Try to reinvite Typhoon. I don't know if the session is full for him or not because of hatred. We do not want another issue from yesterday with the amount of spectators that are lobbying because we had that issue yesterday. JC Hellcat couldn't join in, and obviously that was not a good look, but nor is this because Typhoon is actually trying to join back. Kind of isn't able to. Ricochet now on Tax for position. Tax is yet to pit. Ricochet has already as well. So, down the inside, oof. Ricochet goes. Gets through.
F1 driver broke late, missed the apex a little bit and almost followed into the back of AMS Tax, who now has the slipstream back on Ricochet. And he's going to fight it back here.
Now into turn 6 this is. AMS Tax yet to pit. F1 driver already has. AMS Tax kind of holding up F1 driver a bit. F1 driver on a run for podium. Ricochet, this should be his first podium since Austria Season 1, which was back in February. And yeah, F1 driver is going to have DRS, but he still cannot get by AMS Tax here. And that's holding him up. He's not going to be able to get a chance at Ricochet. Which Ricochet would have his tying his best result is Rizone taking the fastest lap one more time. And F1 driver and Tax slipstreaming.
DRS. It's going to be hard.
Behind that, Rapalucas and JetBlameSU as well. Rapalucas gets by. F1 driver by Tax. Jab can't charge back at it, nor can Tax with F1 driver Jarv's car already a lap down. You see 15 drivers on the same lap already in this race, halfway through. And no retirement so far. How about that?
Technically one DNR if Typhoon isn't able to get back in, but no
at least
physical...
he's trying to make an attempt to get back in. That's
yeah.
If you don't try to make an attempt to get back in, it would be a DNR, or if you just rage out of the session. Typhoon is still trying to get back in because I told him you need to get back in, but he can't because of Patriot, which shouldn't be happening.
I mean, yeah, I stated that we can't get any spectators in today because luckily we've got a full tier 1 lobby, which is great, but
now if anyone DNFs out of the lobby and leaves the session, then fair enough, you know,
you
can come in, but if you're coming into the session and you're just wasting a space for people, you know, that's the problem is Jab picks up a penalty. And F1 Fan for Life by Kagoda for a position. Remember, RC1 Uzumaki and Tax have yet to pit, so yeah, that will be for a point in the end. Outside this time, they're pinching each other. They're going wheel to wheel into turn 4. Don't make a recreation of Leclerc and Vettel. They don't. Jab and Rapalucas still close. Rapalucas closing on AMS Tax might have the DRS this time on them. And 7 seconds between the racing between Rizone and Ricochet. This is 4. And Mr. Boker as well. He's had a quiet race, but he's been back as well in this battle with Pagoda and F1 Fan for Life. How interesting that will be to see Pagoda and Boker, the 2 champions, going wheel to wheel.
I'm sure they'll give each other a lot of respect, because that's what champions do. But he's got one overtake to make first, and he's already done it.
There you go, by F1 Fan for Life into turn 1, Resident Lord picks up another penalty as well. Now his next target is Kagoda, but he's only going to be ahead of Uzumaki when he pits, as well as Tax, because of them yet to pit. So Mr. Boker will be in the points once this happens. Touch as well, trying on Uzumaki. He picks up a penalty, but he has John John's ghost car in the way as well. Now, John John's rejoined the session as well. Make sure you get Typhoon back in now. And that's Resident Lord out of the session there. That's the first retirement of the race. Will this bring out a safety car? It is a VSC. That's the first retirement of the race.
Just give Tax a good opportunity to pit. He has.
It does. Same with Uzumaki, who's pitting as well, along with
and
J.
such J25. He's already pit.
So does Mr. Boker. Soft tires for these guys? I'm assuming.
They can get to the end.
Make sure you invite Typhoon back during this time if you already have him.
Yeah, I did.
We're back green after the VFC as well. 4/10 the gap between Jab and Rapalucas. Ricochet and F1 driver as well. Now, did Resident Lord leave the session after his retirement?
Well, I didn't see it because I was inviting Typhoon.
Ryan has joined the lobby. And we're trying to get Typhoon back in as well. Yeah, he
there
has now. So there's definitely a spot open for Typhoon trying to join back in. Yeah, I want to kind of have a talk after the race with some people because of
They kind of
spectator.
There kind of seems to be some mandatory engineering that people feel like they have to do. Like, just watch the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think.
I mean, I know XR Ryan's coming in to engineer Sam, which, fair enough, he does a lot anyway, too. Fair enough. But, you know, the way I look at it is wait to join the session until someone retires and then leaves the session. Wait to do that. As there's another yellow flag as well. That's ABS Jarva round.
Oh.
That's a turn 5 and he's retired. That's the second retirement in this race. In fact, John John's actually back in the session, I think, as well. Back on Ghosted, which he's kind of going to be in that fight for 16th, but that's about it. It won't be in a much more of a fight than that. There's a big delay, Raptor says. I mean, yeah, I get that. But the thing is, you know, the way I look at it is don't just join the session when someone, you know, let's just say, just leaves the session because they lag out. That's unfair to them because they can't join back the session. How much do you think that pisses them off? Like, that's just what I think of it. You know, they're not able to.
It's inconsiderate.
Because you're inside. Yeah, you're in the session. Now, obviously, XL Ryan, Patriot, they joined, but the thing is, the way I look at it, wait to join the session until someone's DNF'd and left the session. As RSF and Uzumaki sets the fastest lap and is in a battle with AMS Tax for P10, which behind that, Mr. Boker, for even a point, Mr. Boker, the highest down he's been. Follow that speeding. Yeah, Jarv left. That's what we've done. We've invited Typhoon already. But it's just inconsiderate, you know? I mean... That's what I mean. That's the problem with that. We had the problem yesterday with so many spectators. Whenever Hellcat tried to join, he couldn't join because the session was full. Now there were two people who were spectating, or two people were spectating, two people were race engine, and two drivers, which just only have one. That made no sense to me. But regardless, that really kind of probably pissed off Hellcat. He was just like, he probably could have just left after that because of that. He probably could have just done that. So it's just inconsiderate. It's just something you just don't do. It's just better not to do that unless you have a. As RSF1 Uzumaki goes by, AMS tacks for position while Boker tries to catch them for P10, that is, and he picks up a penalty. Alright, so penalties, let's see. Zone has a penalty. F1 driver has nothing. Get their drivers to do a point of view change. Exactly! If it doesn't lag. At least. But Ricochet with a warning. That's the top three. Rapalucas with a warning. Jab with a penalty. So two people in that top five have a penalty. That's Jab and Razone. So if F1 catches back up enough, he can possibly win this race. But Razone, it would be his third win of the season if he wins this race. And that big three of Razone, Rapalucas, and Boker have done a lot this season with their wins. They've won every race but one. I'm gonna have to be right back. If you can take over that.
No problem. Back to the battle for P2 and P4 respectively. Jab actually had a small look down the inside there of Rapalucas as he remains 2/10 behind the Williams. Williams currently haven't done enough to secure, well, or turn around, I should say, the Constructors' Championship. As they were 33 points behind from Renault, who Mr. Boker has really dragged that team up. But no disrespect to Graham. He's running in P6 and P6 by a long way. 6 seconds back to Pagoda. And yeah, Graham is doing a really good job today. So some of the people that we haven't really noticed, Sam is running in a world of his own in 14th. Unfortunately was involved in the turn 1 lap 2. Carnage, GSRX, a lap down. Still on hards, trundling around, nothing really at stake unless a safety car comes out.
Mr. Boker attacks Uzumaki all in that fight for P10 as well. That's for a point. But keep in mind, they're also trying to catch the guys on hards, which are Atlantis F1 Fin for life as well. Which Uzumaki is just close enough to Atlantis to the point where he's just getting DRS and what's in the front straight next time. Tax now, trying for a position, can't make a move into turn 4, but he's close enough to get to the rear gearbox of him. Alright, but Lucas experiencing some lag there on Jabs on board. Now I know that's not my internet because of you hosting the lobby, so obviously Polo takes a 3-second time penalty, an F1 driver having to challenge for second, but you have Ricochet in that battle as well, as Jab coming down the inside of Rapalucas for a position, goes down the inside and is going to go through into turn 1 and goes ahead, but Rapalucas might be trying for a move at turn 4 if there's a chance to do so. Jab up to 4th, and his best result so far. This would be. How about Graham as well? P6, Renault have clinched the Constructors' Championship, with Resonate Lord being out of the race, so Renault are Constructors Champions. As Uzumaki gets by Atlantis. And Atlantis has to fight Mr. Boker again. Pretty interesting to say the least for that one.
Oh, he's almost broke a little bit too late into the back of Atlantis. He's on 16 lap old hards.
Uzumaki's taking that points position, but his next target, and probably his only next target, as Ricochet's actually out of the race! Out of the race!
No. Oh, that's
Ricochet's
a big
out!
that.
Out from P2 that was out of the race, and he is not going to be too happy because he was on for podium, and Graham is on for his first top 5, and Polo's out. Now we're seeing retirements again. Still no safety car from that. Mr. Boker in the points. Here comes him on Atlantis to the outside. Side by side under yellow flags. And Mr. Boker is going to go through. So now Jab is into a podium position and Graham into the top 5 with Kagoda almost to his best result, which was taken in 5th in USA last season. Oh! That was Polo God's AI car, but AMS Tax gets into Atlantis.
I have no idea how that's not a safety car. There's a Ferrari sat in the middle of the track. That'd be a red flag if anything. That's incredibly dangerous. It reminds me a lot of the Fernando Alonso crash at Brazil. You've ever seen that?
2003?
Yeah.
Yup, exactly, yeah. How that was not a safety car, I don't know. But this promotes F1 driver to 2nd, which he was in that battle. But Ricochet out of the race for P3. And I'm sure he's frustrated. He has every right to be because that was his own mistake or something. But this now promotes Jab into a podium. But based off penalties, we'll also get Rapalucas into the podium. Behind that, Graham is now challenging for his first top 5. And his best result.
Oh, contact. Oh, he's almost spun it. And Uzumaki has to go off the track and cut turn 2.
He's going to have to give that place back, and he does. Lets Mr. Boker through, but now slipstreaming into turn 4, it's not enough to make a move. Obviously, there's the glitch there with him being a lap down. That's not
I see that.
You also have as well F1 Fan for Life in his debut, up in 7th. Mr. Boker crazy that he's down in 8th. But you also have as well Kagoda, Tier 2 champion, down in 6th. Actually, up in 6th. And you have JC Graham, like I said, top 5 for him. Jab would be his best result as well. So, this race is just something else. Yeah, I don't blame Ricochet for being upset. We've gone really far into this race with no DNFs, but then we just got the DNFs stacked up there. As AMS Tax trying to get into Uzumaki. Uzumaki trying to gain on Mr. Boker as well. That's for a position. As Typhoon's AI car goes up to 16th after Ricochet's DNF. That's 2 laps down for him. 13 cars on the same lap. Uzumaki and Boker both on pad. So they have the equal advantage. It's going to matter who wins the apex the correct way. And they're set up, of course, in this race then. Finish. That's for P8. If you think about this as well, JC Graham 10th to 5th, Mr. Boker 20th to wing damage to 8th. Not a bad result for Mr. Boker he'll have, but still, that's if he keeps his stuff clean and doesn't have any issues at the end of the race. We can see how quickly things can change as Ricochet went out of the race like he did.
Yeah, Mr. Boker was unlucky. It's always a risk starting at the back like that and getting yourself caught up in collisions, especially at Brazil turn 2. Never a clean corner.
No, never.
But yeah, it was always a risk. He took it. He's won the Drivers' Championship. They've now won the Constructors' Championship. So overall, I don't think he's bothered. I think it's his last league race anyway, so who cares? I don't think he'll give one single inch of care. But Boker, they've won both championships. There you go.
Sure.
Job done.
Yeah, for that. I mean, yeah, even if Rapaluka is going to finish 4th or 3rd with Jazz penalty, yeah, you basically got ran out the Constructors' Championship at that point, like you said. Polo saying something about Uzumaki being a bit dirty. Obviously, Uzumaki kind of shoved off Mr. Boker at turn 1, toward turn 2 as well, we saw. So, obviously, we'll find out if that's investigated or tickets submitted after the race. I've seen no tickets submitted yet, so I guess that's a more positive thing. Yeah, just hoping for fun to the race, of course. You know, nothing going to transfer over to F1 2020 unless it's something big, something, you know, severe. You know, I mean, that's just the way it goes. Obviously, we're not going to allow you to be dirty, of course, and just get away with it. That's not how it goes. You know, I mean, if you're just dirty, dirty and drive like, no, are we gonna allow that? No. But it's more the final race of the season, final race of the game, so we're gonna be less strict. The same seed takes a penalty from the 13th position, and the chances at a safety car this late in the race, yeah, very slim. Very, very slim. I don't think I just don't think.
We've got 2 on-track battles now. Rapalucas chasing down Jab for P3 and the final podium position, which, in terms of ERS, he's looking a little bit better, and he's just remaining patient with his moves. Something he has improved on throughout the season is just patience, picking the right moments. So, he's got every chance of making that move. As well, Mr. Boker surely should get the move done on F1 Fan for Life, being the champion on fresher soft tyres. And Taxon Uzumaki as well, they got close briefly and are running on the same tyre wear.
I was going to say, I can kind of agree with Dominic Square about this race being boring. Yeah, this is definitely not as bad as Singapore, which we know how bad that was. That was... Wow, yeah, that was really bad. But I could say it was in the top 4 for one of the worst races of the season as Boker goes by F1 Fan for Life and takes that position. Fan for Life a little bit sideways for him. If Jab and Rapalucas continue to battle for the last 2 laps, remember, Jab has that 3-second penalty. If Graham could get enough pace and catch up to them, Graham could be on for a top 4, which he's already on for a top 5 right now. And behind that, Kagoda as well, who's getting chased down by Mr. Boker. We'd have to see how this goes. And this is kind of flashes of how F1 2020 might go, with barely any safety cars, barely any VSCs. So 2 VSCs in this race. So of course we know how this will be. Pen checked. All right, I'll check the pens again. Zone. Penalty for him. F1 driver. Nothing. Jab has that penalty and has the 2 warnings. So if he gets a second penalty, Graham could take 4th. Rappa takes no penalty and off the track. That's F1 driver. Off the track.
Whoa,
turn 3.
I didn't see that.
I saw it while I was paused slightly. Made a mistake and gone off track. He's gonna lose a lot of time. And Rapalucas down the inside of Jab. Atlantis and such J as well battling for P11. This is if they take a position of penalties. This is what the battle would be for 10th. If there's any posters, penalties handed out. This time coming to the final lap for Rizone. We also have with penalties Rapalucas the 2 warnings, so he could take another penalty. He's got to be very careful in how he manages his stuff. Graham has 2 warnings as well. Kagoda has 2 warnings, and Mr. Boker has the 2 warnings as well. Interesting where this goes. So if Jab gets another pen, say that's your turn 4, turn 2, Graham could take P4. And give it up for Graham, honestly, so far. I know it's the final lap now. I don't want to jinx anything. I know I have all season, but Graham being in the position to run P5 scared the shit out of me. I didn't know if you were real or not. I didn't know if I was like, what? But no, I mean, Graham running P5, it's still great for him because the season he's had. I mean, just think about it. Rizzo, a really dominant performance from him. We've not seen this in a while. A dominant performance like this in Tier 1. We've not seen this in Singapore, I don't think, with anyone else. A dominant performance today. Jab and Rapalucas trying for P3. This is 4. Not enough to trade positions. But Rizzo coming to the checkered flag to take his 3rd of the season. 3rd in ARL. He ends off 2019 with a bang. He wins the race. Rizzo takes the checkered flag. And Rizzo wins his 3rd race.
Got a pretty bad exit, but in the second phase,
F1 driver, best result of the season, 2nd. Jab and Rapalucas. Rapalucas takes a podium in the final race of the season, and Graham takes 5th for the Constructors' Championship for Renault. His best result in ARL.
Points.
And Kagoda and Boker. Kagoda is going to be 6th. 2nd best result for him. And F1 Fan for Life on his debut is 8th, 9th, 10th. Wow. Wow. what can I say? That's a dub for some.
Easy.
Same so you might end up the season with or something.
I couldn't be asked to do that shit.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, of course.
I was looking behind you on your quali laps. I was like, you're not locking up at all. Unless you're an absolute legend. I don't think that's possible.
Sam seats off his front wing.
Some
He might as well
Let
just
me just
reverse
ask,
it across the
what
line.
did Ricochet do? I'm so confused. I was looking behind and all of a sudden he just
That's very
flies
yeah, I
in
was
the
I was
road.
in a party with Ricochet, and Ricochet went, "Oh shit," and then just left party. Like, oh,
He had the same glitch that Beatnik had, or like whatever, where your wheel just decides to fall off. Bit like Kimi Räikkönen today, just pops
Oh,
off.
God.
yeah.
Boys, let's be
Oh,
honest,
so
Lewis
that's your
Hamilton is
third.
pretty dirty. Lewis
Third.
Hamilton is one dirty boy.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton can back off, mate. What a
Yeah.
dickhead.
He just takes out Albon. Albon called him a sore loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, he keeps protesting this stuff, saying Black Lives Matter. Well, he always targets Albon.
Yeah, exactly.
What a way to end
Oh, I
up
don't
with
have to
2019. It wasn't the best race with, I would say, quality, but it was a decent.
think
way
that's-
Well, I
to
mean,
end
I'm not
off.
gonna complain.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't, because you gone from
Paul-
fifth points.
Yeah.
Wait,
So boring for me.
well, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once I got outside of Rock with 2 seconds, I was like, I'm just gonna vibe for the rest of the race. So I had nothing
well,
better to
actually-
do.
Mr. Voker under fives. I've got more podiums this season, mates. So you know, just very happy to announce that one more podium, obviously. Ah, yes, mate. Unfortunately, but still got more podiums. Oh yeah, well, you know, it's all about that
And Rafa, your
consistency.
dad's
you
got
see.
more pros than you.
How can you be
Very
more
true,
consistent when
yeah.
Boca won the championship?
Renault, Doobie Constructors Championship, though. Was
Bro, I swear this
programming.
Johnny was in the party yesterday when he won the championship.
What?
Pagoda. Since when?
Huh?
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Tier 2 champion, Tier 1 champion. Now we just need to get Davis in here and we'll have all 3 champions.
Yeah.
Um,
Not a bad idea if he's online.
oh, Davis ain't online yet.
Good.
He
Anyway.
was in the mixer.
Oh.
I didn't see that, but yeah. Capping off with final post-race interviews this season, final post-race interviews of F1 2019. So, Rizone, I've got to ask, dominant performance, did you expect that coming into this weekend? And make sure you include your audio.
Of course I did.
Alright. Someone's confident.
No, fair enough.
Take
No,
your
I'm in
third win.
second.
How about that one? What'd you think of your third win now? Third win of the season. It was a struggle at the beginning of the season for you because of all the spins and all the stuff that happens. Of course, we gotta mention that. But you kind of have performed this last part of the season, showing that you can contend for race wins. You can do that. But in the beginning of the season, it was different. Tell me how much you've improved from the beginning of the season to the end of the season.
No more spin. That's the only thing. Every race I've done it.
So, what's your plans into F1 2020, and how do you look into F1 2020 for league racing?
No assists. Be slower.
Good boy.
Sweat the game out.
Good boy. I approve.
It'd probably be like tier 3.
Oh, I'm gonna be tier 4 because I'm gonna try it.
Even Akimbo will beat you, don't worry.
I can't let that
Ooh,
happen.
nah,
Ah,
bro.
boys. Robert,
Rapid,
yeah,
I don't
Robert
know
is
what you're on
quality.
about.
Robert is quality. Yeah.
He did good in the
He should be in
tier
tier 1.
three
The tier
race.
placements are completely wrong. He should be in tier 1. Ridiculous, man.
Square for tier 1 as well.
Yes, exactly.
yes.
He scored more points than Sausage in tier 3 in it, so very, very quick drive.
And tier Olympus.
Stupid York.
Indeed.
Congratulations on the win, Rizone. Milo, do you have any questions for Rizone?
Oh, really?
How satisfied are you then with Toro Rosso's performance as a whole this season? Because you have a champion in tier 3. Tier 2 probably wasn't the best. But yeah, just overall, how satisfied are you with Toro
It was
Rosso?
alright, I guess. P3 was alright in the championship. Could have gone P2 if I was more consistent.
And get more consistent.
Oh, funny.
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 Oh, we're doing
Funny.
donuts. Was that a thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'll do it.
Might as well, right? I
Go
mean,
on.
I turned damage off. Put
End
damage
off
off.
2019
put
right
off.
away.
Yeah, but
Lovely.
If Jarv's still in, I need to take him out for fucking. Nah, he's not in. Fuck.
What happened to turn 1?
Good now. Oh, I had it on random start time. Oh god.
I was gonna ask that to Kagoda whenever I get to him, but congratulations to you again, Rizone. And now to our second place finisher, F1 driver. You know, better race from you than I think you expected. Did you expect the P2 coming into this weekend?
Not really. I was expecting everyone to just overtake me after the pit stops, to be honest.
Turn tie cars
Oh.
off and ghosts and off.
Mm.
Sorry to interrupt.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Overall,
so-
I think it was alright.
Ghosting off, please.
It is!
I don't think.
It's on.
I don't
Is
think I
it?
would have challenged
Oh,
for
it's
wins.
locked
to be honest.
on. Wait, what? Oh, there you go. It's off now.
No, it's-
Oh, those back markers are 80.
Ah, don't worry.
Wait, why is it still on? Oh.
Oh, mate, inability to make a lobby, honestly.
Should be
Might as well end
kicked
this
if that
Second.
happens.
This isn't much of an interview. How to set
So
up
then,
a lobby with everyone.
I may as well ask. You ended off your season decently well and better than you did in the first part of the season. So how do you look at your season overall?
Shit. There's no other way to put it. The pace hasn't been there, consistency hasn't been there. Stupid overtakes.
Like it hungry.
Yes, that one.
And stupid overtake attempts.
Multiple.
Like at Bahrain from me.
Yeah, so hopefully 2020 is going to be a bit better. I don't think I'll be challenged for wins straight away, probably. So I do struggle to get used to the game, but yeah.
So then
I
I
would
may
say
as
never
well
race
ask as
winner
well.
if you would struggling.
Graham, shut
I
up, man.
may as well ask as well about last season compared to this season. Obviously, last season you had the 3 wins. This season you had a decent amount of podiums toward the end of the season. You know, you had some momentum toward the end of the season compared to the beginning of the season. How do you kind of progress that into the next game and have that confidence you had at the end of the season, kind of?
Well, last season there wasn't really too many people who could compete for wins on a regular basis. And then when Nuffsy Ryan just committed suicide in Germany, it was just Rapper, DW, and maybe a couple others every so. Yeah, times change, and I think.
Free up DW!
Oh, you're funny, you are.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't
there's
say
rules.
anything.
Well, it's just the actual race. When I won to already.
Oh,
lose to it.
tax.
Oh, no, my bad.
Oh, tax just isn't moving.
Oh,
Ow.
fucking brakes failed.
I was going to ask as well to you, F1 driver as well. You had a battle with Ricochet. How'd you look at your battles from this race today compared to other weeks?
Bit better. At least I didn't spin. That's a good thing. But I still don't understand what the hell he did
Oh, I love the Scarfax.
on the last corner. I was so confused. Well, I just see him spin into the barrier, or whatever it was, crash into it. I don't know.
I almost bet him.
Maybe his DRS got stuck open, I don't know.
Get out of my way, team boss.
I've rules off. Drive backwards.
Nice
Yes.
way to end your season though.
Not like we would just jump the start.
Yeah.
Nice way to end your season.
Oh, I'm
F1
sick, that was
driver.
nice.
Congrats on the
Oh.
season. And congrats on P2. Milo, do you have any questions
Spinning.
for F1 driver?
Spinning! Wait, spinning! Okay, right. I asked this to Rapper
Oh.
last week, but throughout the season, where
Oh,
do you think you could have picked up more points? Except from Bahrain.
To be honest, I was just season compared to everyone. Oh shh! I didn't know you. I didn't know Rap Lucas had a Smurf account.
I'll take the 5-second penalty for the reset, boys.
Oh, fuck. Oh.
Congratulations. Championship, QC.
Hey, reset.
Now to
seven.
our other future Rapper Lucas.
Ow.
Milo, do you have any questions for Rapper Lucas? And make sure you guys
To be honest, I've got nothing different from last week.
Put some cross code.
Yeah, go
So
on,
no, not really any useful questions.
Oh.
Swords are flying.
My finger slipped. In a minute.
Yeah, so I've
Yeah,
got
so
questions
what
on
was your
Rapper
question?
Lucas. I've got a question then. Your season though, when did you think the fight was over with Mr. Boker? When did you think you had no chance to championship?
After Hungary, see, I had a 30 DRS failure. And
Is
yeah,
that allowed on
so
YouTube? Can you get demonetized?
probably. Yeah, so, yeah, after Hungary, I lost like 20 points to James.
What is going on?
Which is a bit of a stinker, really.
Oh god.
But
Complicated.
it's not the end of the world. I think I
Well,
still enjoyed the season. I drove much better than I did last season. Like in terms of my pace and my not consistency, but like just able to come every single weekend, decent-ish to fight for the win or the podium. Well, yeah. Well, to like, fight for wins and podiums, where not just get lucky like last season. Well, silver still, but you know. Oh.
I don't really have any other questions to you, Rapper Lucas, so congrats on the finish.
Oh, well, okay.
Podium. Graham, I gotta go to you now.
Oh!
Yeah, but we want to combine constructors, so not good.
Oh shit!
Oh my god, sex.
The controller was vibrating that much, it disconnected.
Oh, no, Sam's in the eyeball. Oh.
Ow!
Alright, so I may as well get to you, Graham. Hopefully, we can, oh, where there's text. Hopefully we can just, get this interview done. And
But does everyone like the smell of burning rubber?
Respectfully. Graham, race finished. First time in like 3 or 4 weeks. Tell me about
yeah.
that, actually.
Oh,
Because, P5, your best result so far. How did you feel about
Yeah.
that?
I mean, I like Brazil. And I was just vibing. I was just vibing.
Oh, nice lap song.
Like once, like I was inside Rafa and Jab's DRS, and then a lapped car, like just ghosted inside me and just completely distracted me, meaning I missed my brake zone, and that got me outside 1 second. So after that, I was just vibing. I had nothing better to do.
Your best result of the season comes at the final race, kind of similar to me and LDRL, where I got P7 my best result in the final race. So, regardless, how do you look at your season, and how do you look at that result to boost your confidence?
My season's been shy. No other way to say it. I mean, I've been very unlucky. Like, with the
I'm
whole,
gonna switch to pass.
what do you call him? Danny Sketted.
Some...
Oh, with the whole Danny Sketted stuff, and then
Danny Sketich just now.
Yeah.
Then I had a couple, and then two
Nah,
races
boys,
in a row.
Danny's getting
jam.
it.
Everyone's seen it as a bad thing that took him out in Australia, but now looking back on it, I think
Yeah,
it's a
now
good
everyone's
thing.
just happy. Both Renaults in
Oh,
one
oh.
go.
Perfect.
So then,
He's one
how
ticket.
do you look at
Me,
next
Cap
season
Newton.
in F1 2020 and a new game
Oh,
for
no.
yourself to improve? And maybe get the
Nice tyres,
results.
Milo.
Well, I mean, I don't, I don't know. I'm probably gonna try no traction, like no assist on wheel. So, I mean, I've got enough pace on wheel. It's just about learning the assists.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Why are you on full
P5
wet?
and a decent way to end the season. Milo, do you have
Mate,
any
it's
questions?
wet on the track. He can't, yeah, it's not grippy enough for the
Firstly,
top.
yes,
Fuck
it is
that,
wet. What you want
that's
about?
what I'm into,
But Graham, how happy does it make you knowing that Mr. Boker's
Oh.
basically? I'm
Carried
not
me.
taking
Oh.
your
Oh,
yeah.
oh.
I'm not taking your points away.
I mean, you can't
for today.
deny that as a so
Yeah, you can't deny it. But how
shit,
happy
like,
does it make you feel?
I mean, yeah, I mean, he's got like 2-4 or 250 something points this week, this season, and I've got like 25.
Oh.
So I mean, you can't say he's not Gary. Yeah. So I mean, he's just a very fast driver, and hashtag blessed to have him as my teammate.
So, congratulations on the P5 finish. Pagoda, not you, P6 though from this race. I've got to ask, the Tier 2 championship must feel nice, but hey, coming into Tier 1, your second best result, your previous best was back in, oh Jesus, was back in USA.
Oh, I'm out
first
of
season,
fuel.
your first start, P5. So, how do you look at this result and possibly moving into Tier 1 for next season?
Sei puto intermediate.
1 minute 28 purple.
I think I maybe could have had a battle with Grim if whatever happened at turn 1. I didn't get spun out. But, yeah, I don't really know what happened. I just remember getting spun round.
Down on the
and then
inside of my
VSC.
championship rifle.
Fuck's sake.
So I was to ask about the lap 1. So
Oh, I
what
think
happened
I
to
was
you in lap 1? What was your perspective on lap 1?
I mean, I don't really know what happened behind me, but I was just focusing on not hitting the guys ahead, and it just felt like I got high up the back and spun around.
So you recovered a 6 from that. How do you look at
Oh no.
your season Tier 2 and Tier 1?
Well, well, Tier 2 was obviously very good because I won. But I've only done 2 races, and Tier 1 has scored points in, well, 2 races this season in Tier 1, and I scored points in both of them, so I'm quite happy with how that's gone.
Do you think you're ready for Tier 1?
Maybe I'm not sure how it's going to be in a new game, but yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna have better performances than my first go in Tier 1. My pace is a lot better now than it was then, so I think I can try and fight for points if in Tier 1 next season.
Oh no, another lap.
Congratulations on your P6 finish, your best result of the season, Tier 1 season. Milo, do you have any questions for me?
Providing you do get a seat in Tier 1 next season, how competitive do you think you'll be on the new game? I'm not sure yet. I think if I can get the new ARS stuff right, it could help because my ARS management in this game isn't the best. But I don't think I'll be getting any like Like, I think the best I'll probably get next season is maybe like 5th or 6th. Like, I won't be anywhere near the top at all.
Yo, everyone's in over near the top. Who's gonna win?
But Boker.
Come on, push the car. Got no fuel. God.
Yeah, neither. Anyway,
Congratulations on
I'm
your
with it.
6 good season. Now to Mr. Boker. Milo, do you have any questions for Mr. Boker?
Just describe what happened then, from your perspective on that one, because obviously you picked up the damage and had to pit.
Oh yeah, I got raked into next Friday, so that weren't very pretty at all.
Anything
I was
significant
just going
about
down
next
the inside
Friday?
in turn 1 because I saw some movement going outside, and then I got brake checked by Jar, which I wasn't asked to click. It was more just lap 1. It's just what it's like, really. Agreed. So yeah, I was wondering why Arthur weren't a fucking full caution, because there's so many drivers who just had a stinker. So, like, it really should have been a full course, and then actually we could have been in that race as well with the virtual. I could have maybe even won, but it was only stupidly fast, so maybe not. But I think if I didn't get the damage, it would have been P2 at least. But it is what it is.
Milo, any other questions for Mr. Boker?
Not really.
I don't think I have much to say besides, you know, after the damage you came back to finish, I want to say P7, right? I want to say it was
Yeah, it
P7.
was.
It's P7. So you came back to finish the points, which at first it looked like it wasn't possible to get many points, but you got some points out of it. You guys are Giant Constructors champions right now. How much did you and Graham have to carry the team? Well, you, but you know.
It's not. Didn't really. I mean, yeah, I kind of did give, I know, but you know, it's not really. Doesn't really like. Oh yeah, I did carry him, but you know, it's not really a big thing. It's just, you know, I just drive myself and whatever happens. Yeah.
Not a bad result from you. How do you look into F1 2020 coming back to the game? Well, coming back to a new season in F1 2020, being the reigning champion.
Tell you what, I think I'll be even quicker on 2020. I think with the engine braking just being gone, it's just, and I don't engine brake, that'll be a big dub. And then I think the game, the handling things will suit me, so I've just got to put the time in as well to learn no line. I'm putting myself, I'm putting everything into no line next season, so I might be quite slow at the first few races. Just depends how fast I get up to grips. But yeah, I think it'll be a lot closer on 2020. It won't be easy at all. It weren't easy this season as well. There's a few times where there's some must-win races to not let Rapper come back at me. So yeah.
One last question for the one last interview of the season. Where in the championship did you think you had it won at that point? Did Singapore be one race that you looked at saying, hey, I got this one, or Hungary, or what race did you think you had it won at that point, or had a good shot to extend more points in the next races?
Well, after Hungary, I was like, alright, I think I'm getting closer and closer. Then Britain happened, so it's just, alright, and it's still game on. And then I think I knew I had it won around Italy, really. Because then it was just a really good race there, and it was a very big lead, and I was like, okay, I can't bottle this now.
Congratulations to you guys on the Combined Constructors Championship. Well, not combined, sorry. Constructors Championship, what am I saying? I'm such an idiot. Don't worry about me. And Drivers Championship as well. But, yeah, congratulations on that, and congratulations on a decent comeback, I'd say. Milo, any last words, any kind of way you want to look back at the season? now? Dead? Is he
I
dead?
think he's died.
Yeah, I think he has.
The ambulance. It's called Joseph
Hashtag upbeat miner has
005.
died.
Batteries died. What?
Oh.
I heard my name.
Oh,
Well, someone did die, but not the right person.
oh.
Milo, any way to look back at the Tier 1 season, in general, and to look back all the tiers, for the season? I can't speak English, just take over.
Well, for tier 1, just be grateful. Like, a lot of people jump straight to conclusions at the start of the season going, oh, the races are boring, Mr. Boken might as well just be handed the championship now. No, they improved. And yeah, just, people should be grateful for that, and people have put time, and practice into putting on these races, so yeah, that's as well as tier 2 and tier 3. Tier 3's had a really good first season. Definitely a lot that can be improved, but overall, there's a lot of competition in there, and hopefully, with some with the tier placements for next season, that will only improve, as well as the driving as well. Fingers crossed. And then for tier 2. We always knew it was going to be super competitive, and obviously we had the best championship fight out of all 3 tiers that went right to Brazil in controversial fashion. So 3 very different ways of rounding off the season here in Brazil, but I've enjoyed every moment of it, to be honest, and I only hope this can continue.
Yeah, I've mentioned a lot of the good and bad things about ARL. I've mentioned a lot of things that's going on. I've mentioned stewarding, tier placements, driving, some of the stuff I mentioned that needs to be improved on. You know, next season managers is a thing for a reason. All that stuff is a thing for a reason. During this off season, of course, people have about 40, 50, 60 days around that time to improve and time to make this league better in that time till the next season. So hopefully all that improves that I just mentioned. I mean, trying to improve the driving. I'm trying to improve the tier placement. That's something I can control. Obviously, the drivers control how they drive, but that's just them. You know, the way I look at it, this season was great. All tiers. We had some good moments. We had some bad moments. We had some back and forth stuff. But you look back at it and you say, hey, this was the moment where, you know, this happened, or this was the moment where you knew this could happen. Well, it's not always the way it was, and it was really a good season, but there's stuff to be improved on, and there's a lot of stuff to be improved on for sure. That will change and can change for the next season on F1 2020. That's the final race of F1 2019 for the final time. I don't really have much else to say besides really just about the F1 season. I don't really have much to say about that as well, besides tune into that, because that is on now, of course. F1 had their first race today of 2020, so pretty cool. But
Wasn't that good?
Hi.
No, it was a bit of a stinker, really. Verstappen's at failure just kind of ruined it for me.
It would have been better in match. Oh, I won't spoil it. I'm not meant to.
Regardless, though, a great season, a great way in F1 2019, a great way to end off. Not the most exciting races, but we can definitely improve on the races being cleaner and stuff like that. We can definitely improve on all that. Hopefully, it is all improved by F1 2020. I've mentioned there's a lot of things I need to change in this league, and that need to be changed in this league in general to make it better, and that's something that I need to fix. It's something all of us need to fix as well. But the thing is, a way to end off F1 2019. There'll still be podcasts, of course, and tune in really on the day F1 2020 comes out, because obviously the game comes out. We also have time to do your stuff for tier placements with time trials and everything else like that. So that's a time to improve yourself, time to get better at the game. You know, it's not really over yet, but there's still the off season to kind of cool down after what's happened this season and what's going on. But regardless, that's all I really had to say. Is there any last comments you have, Milo?
Hopefully, we'll get to see you all again next season. I know a lot of new commitments popping up again, and normality is slowly returning for some. But it would be great to have drivers back, new drivers. You know, there's a lot to come, and I'm just, yeah, it's my last input to a league on F1 2019. So, as I'll round it off there.
That's the way I look at it. Hey, podcasts continue later this week. Awards are still a thing at the end of the season. Tune in tomorrow as well. The awards get released. You're able to vote for them tomorrow as well. And you also have as well, like I said, the stuff for tier placements start Tuesday on F1 2020. Can't wait for the game. So we'll figure out what goes on then. That's really all I have. That's all we all have as well. And that is the final race of F1 2019. And the final race of this league on this game and of the season. Hopefully people enjoyed it. Hopefully people have a lot to look forward to in the next season. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And we will see you guys next season.